Okay, dear students, welcome to online class 8. I am Selim Haidar. All of you know my name. Today I am going to start English second paper, English grammar. I have given you some information about transformation from affirmative to negative on the previous days. Today I am going to start some rules that will help you to transform any assertive sentence to interrogative. All of you know the meaning and the structure of interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence, that means the sentence by which, by using the sentence, I can make a question. So, you know the structure of interrogative sentence. Assertive sentence is always in that form: subject, finite verb, and object. And the structure of interrogative sentence, there are two structures of interrogative sentence, and these are: some interrogative sentence may be started with the use of auxiliary verb first, and some interrogative sentence may be started with the use of WH word first. Then there are two structures: 1, 2, auxiliary verb, subject, principal verb, and object, interrogation mark. The another structure is WH word, auxiliary verb, then subject, then principal verb, and object, interrogation mark. This is the structure of an assertive sentence, and these two are the structures of an interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence can be started with the use of an auxiliary verb first, then subject, principal verb, and object. The another structure of it: WH word, auxiliary verb, subject, principal verb, and object. These are the structure of interrogative sentence. Now, whenever you are asked to transform an assertive sentence to interrogative sentence, you should be careful about what? The examiner will give you an assertive sentence. You should identify whether the assertive sentence is in affirmative form or negative form. You should find out if the assertive sentence is in affirmative or negative. The assertive sentence may be affirmative or negative. First, you should identify it. Then, you should identify the tense of the given sentence. Tense. You should identify it. Tense. Third, you should identify if the examiner has used any type of auxiliary verb or not. If there is any kind of auxiliary verb or not. Auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. If the sentence has any type of auxiliary verb or not. Then, number 4, you should be very much careful about the subject of the given sentence. Whenever you are asked to transform an assertive sentence to interrogative, first you should be careful about if the assertive sentence is in affirmative form or in negative form. If the sentence is affirmative, then the structure will be one, and if the sentence is negative, the structure will be another one. Then find out the tense of the given sentence. After identifying the tense, at the time of identifying tense, you can also notice whether the examiner or question setter use any type of auxiliary verb or not. Then you should be careful about the subject of the given sentence. Dears, these four are very important for transforming a sentence from assertive to interrogative. Now, if the sentence is affirmative, what will you do? If the assertive sentence is in the affirmative form, what will you do? Whenever you are asked to make it into interrogative, you should make it interrogative. Whenever the statement is in affirmative form, you should transform it into interrogative. At the same time, you should make it negative also. So the structure will be in interrogative. Interrogative. Just like, look at the board. I eat rice. It is an assertive sentence and it is in the affirmative mode. They play cricket. They play cricket. We honor an honest man. Dear students, you have clearly noticed that I have written the assertive sentences in affirmative form. And what is the tense of eat? I eat rice. It is in present indefinite tense. Any type of auxiliary verb here? No. If the sentence is in present indefinite tense or in past indefinite tense, and if the sentence is affirmative form, then I cannot use any kind of auxiliary verb. Okay? There is no auxiliary verb. There is no auxiliary verb and no auxiliary verb. And the sentence is in affirmative form. So, the structure is finite verb and object. Subject, finite verb and object. If you are asked to transform it into negative, then I have told you, you should it into interrogative. First, there is no auxiliary verb. If there is no auxiliary verb, then the sentence will be in present indefinite tense or past indefinite tense. Thus, if the sentence is in affirmative form, affirmative mode, and the sentence is in present indefinite tense or past indefinite tense, the question setter or I or you cannot use any kind of auxiliary verb here. Eat, play, honor. Here it is in present form, it is in present form, it is also in present form. I will write some other sentences here also. Then how can you transform it into interrogative form? I have told you you should make it interrogative. But there is no auxiliary verb. But whenever you are asked to make it into interrogative sentence, you can use two auxiliary verbs in present indefinite tense, one auxiliary verb in past indefinite tense. So what are these? If the sentence is present indefinite tense, then you should use do or does. If the subject is third person singular number, and if you can find any kind of s or es with the principal verb, then you should use does. It is the auxiliary verb. But I have told you interrogative. You should use the short form of not. Short form of not is an apostrophe comma t. We should not use or here. Don't or doesn't. Here, is there any s here? No. Is the subject third person singular number? No. It is first person singular number. So I will use do here. Do. And negative form, don't. Don't. I have used the auxiliary verb here. Then you should use the subject. What is the subject? I. Don't I. Then you should use the base form of the given principal verb. And there is the base form also. Don't I eat. Don't I eat, and then object. Rice. Don't I eat rice. Dears, you can clearly identify that I have used don't. I think you are not watching. You cannot see these words because of light. I am writing it. I am writing this sentence at the bottom of the board. I eat rice. You can change it into interrogative by using don't as do as an auxiliary verb and not as the negative form. Don't I, the base form of it is eat rice. Don't I eat rice? What have I used? Do, as the sentence is in present indefinite tense and it is affirmative sentence. I have used the negative form of do. Don't I eat rice. Okay. Then what will be the second sentence, dear? They play cricket. They play cricket. It is the base form of play. Play. So you can identify it is in present indefinite tense. Don't they play cricket? Don't they play cricket? Okay, dears, you can notice it. I have used present indefinite tense in the given sentences. Now I am going to use past indefinite form. I am going to write the structure don't or doesn't, then subject, then the base form of principal verb, and then object as interrogation mark. Now dears, what I am going to do, look at the board. He calls me a fool. He calls me a fool. You can clearly notice that I have used s or s with the verb of call because the subject is in third person singular number and it is in present indefinite form. If I use past indefinite tense, we went to Dhaka. We went to Dhaka. It is in past indefinite form. Now, the man helped you. You. The third sentence is in also present past indefinite tense. Now, dears, you can use auxiliary verb is the sentence or the given sentence is in present indefinite tense. You should use do or does as auxiliary verb. But there is an s here. So I will use does and the negative short form of not, doesn't. Subject, doesn't he call me? Doesn't he call me? We went to Dhaka. Past indefinite tense. Then you should use the past form of do. So, whenever the sentence is in past indefinite tense, you will use the past form of do. What is the past form of do? Did. Did. And you should also use the short form of not. N apostrophe comma T. Didn't. Then subject, the base form. Why? Base form. I have transformed. I have taken the past form of go to did. I cannot use another past form in the interrogative sentence. I have used did, didn't, didn't, then the subject, didn't we. The base form of went is go. Didn't we go to Dhaka? Didn't we go to Dhaka? Interrogation mark. Now dears, I am erasing the structure and the other sentences. The man helped you. It is in the affirmative form. So whenever you are asked to transform it into negative, interrogative, then you should identify that the tense of the verb. It is in the past form. So I will use did. Affirmative form, so I will transform it into negative. Didn't. The man help you. Didn't the man help you? Okay, and you have clearly noticed that I have not used any type of auxiliary verb in the given sentences. Whenever I will not use any kind of auxiliary verb, then you should consider that the sentence is in the present indefinite or past indefinite. Okay? Now, look at the board, please. I am going to write another 3 sentences. I have a cow. I have a cow. He has a shirt. He has a shirt. They had much money. They had much money. Dear students, all of you know that have, has, had, these are auxiliary verbs. But if you identify an auxiliary verb, then you can clearly notice that there are 2 types of auxiliary verb. One pure auxiliary or modals, and other semi-auxiliary. Why semi-auxiliary? Because this have or has or had can be used as an auxiliary verb. I have eaten rice. Here have is only an auxiliary verb. But here I have a cow. Here had is the principal verb. So am, is, are, was, were, have, has, had. These verbs have the ability, have the strength to be used as an auxiliary verb and also as a principal verb. Here I have used have as a principal verb. Okay? They are acting like principal verb. Now, have is the principal verb. I have not used any type of auxiliary verb here. But you can consider it as auxiliary verb also if there is another verb. Now, what is the structure? Subject plus have or has or had, then object. Now, dear learners, you can clearly notice the tense of the given sentences, and all the sentences are in affirmative mode. You can change it, transform it into interrogative in 2 types. You can use it as a principal verb, you can consider it as a principal verb, you can also consider it as an auxiliary verb. So, you can make it into interrogative, transform it into interrogative in 2 roles. What are these? I can transform it. It is the present form of have. So, I have given you some instruction in the previous rule that whenever the sentence is in present indefinite tense, you can use do. Do. Because subject is I. The sentence is in present indefinite tense and affirmative mode. So you should use the negative form of do. Don't. So you can use the subject don't I, then the base form of have. Don't I have a cow? You can write it. It is correct. You have used here have as a principal verb. Now you can also use have as an auxiliary verb. How? You can take it at the beginning of the sentences. Haven't. The negative form of have is haven't. I have taken this have. Haven't I? Okay, there is no principal verb and I will not use it. So, haven't I a cow? Both the sentences are correct. Here I have used have as principal verb and here I consider have as an auxiliary verb. So the structure may be don't or doesn't. Whenever you will use does, when you can find has as the principal verb. You can also use did, didn't. Okay? At the same time, you can use these auxiliary verbs, as auxiliary verb. Haven't, or hasn't, or hadn't. If you use this, then you should use the have or has or had as principal verb after subject. But if you use have or has as an auxiliary verb, then you cannot use this again after the subject. Okay? Then you should, after do, does or did, you should use subject, principal verb and object. That means have, has or had. You cannot use had again because had is the past form. I have used did here. You should use the base form of had. Then if you use have or has, then you should use subject and object and interrogation mark. Now I am doing these sentences. I am using have or has or had as principal verb. So I will use does here. Doesn't. Why? The verb is has. It is subject is third person singular number. Doesn't he? I have taken the singular form of has to does. So I cannot use another has. I can use have. No has. I cannot use has here because the form of has transformed to does. Okay? Doesn't he have a shirt? Doesn't he have a shirt? Okay, dears? You can also write these sentences. Hasn't he a shirt? Okay? Now, the third sentence, you can write it. They had much money. They had much money. It is the past form. So you can use did. The negative form of did is didn't. They. You cannot use another past form here because I have taken the past form of had to did. So you should use the base form of had. What? Have. Didn't he have much? No, he has. Didn't he has much money? I have used the subject they. Didn't they have much money? Okay? Didn't they have much money? I have taken the past form of had to did. So I cannot use another past form here. I should use the base form of had. Okay, dears? Now, at the very beginning of the class, I told you that you should be very much careful about subject. Why? Now, look at the board. Every mother, everybody hates a liar. Everybody hates a liar. I have not indicated a single person, a definite person. I have not noticed anyone. I have noticed everybody. All. All will die. All will die. Every boy has a pen. Every boy has a pen. Dears, I am not using a lot of sentences. I have written only 3 sentences. You can notice that here no particular person has been used as subject. I have used every and a noun, all, every. There you can also find every, each, all, a, etc. and etc. The subjects are not a definite person or definite thing. These are mentioned for noticing all the people. So subject is every plus any noun. Every, each, all, or a plus any noun. Then principal verb and object. This is the structure of the given sentences. Now, you can also identify that all the sentences are in affirmative form. Okay? Now, dears, how can you transform it into interrogative? I have told you if the sentence is affirmative, then you should transform it. Whenever you are asked to transform it into interrogative, then you should make it negative also. Now, dears, I have not used any auxiliary verb here. Everybody hates a liar. It is in present indefinite tense. Okay? Now, dears, look at the board. Everybody, this subject indicates a person. So, whenever the subject indicates a person, then I will use personal related WH word, personal interrogative pronoun. You know, there are 3 personal interrogative pronouns. Who is the subjective form, whom is the objective form, and the possessive form, whose. Whom, whose. These 3 are personal interrogative pronoun. Whenever I use these words to make an interrogative sentence, then these WH words will be called as interrogative pronoun. This is the person and I have used this person as subject. So I will erase this. By erasing the subject, I will write who, because who indicates a person and who is the subjective form, who. There I have used the subject in present indefinite tense. I have also used s or es with the verb because the subject is in third person singular number. So, dears, you should use the negative form as. What have you done in the previous sentences? In present indefinite tense, you have used do or does as auxiliary verb. Here you will also use an auxiliary verb do or does. Who does, the negative form, who does not. Who does not, then you should use the base form of hate. Who does not hate a liar? Who does not hate a liar? Now, dears, the second sentence, all will die. Here you can find that I have used will as an auxiliary verb here. So, you need not to use do, does or did. Okay? All will die. What will you do? All is the subject. Who? You should use the auxiliary verb. Who will? The negative form of it. Who will not die. who will not die. Okay, now everybody has a pen. Every boy has a pen. Boy is a person. Then who, here you notice that I have used only has. You can use it as an auxiliary verb. Who has, no. You know, have or has. Whenever you can use only have or has without other verbs, you should not use not here. You should use no. Okay? Who has no pen? Who has no pen? Okay? Now dears, what have I done here? What have I done here? I have used, by erasing this subject, WH word. And these are the interrogative pronoun. These are called interrogative pronoun. Then you will use the auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb with not. If there is no auxiliary verb, you should use do or does or did. Now, the principal verb and object, exclamation, interrogation mark. Okay, dears? Now, I am going to give you the information about another rule. Look at the board, and I am going to give you a suggestion that you should write the sentences in your exercise book. Dears, nobody loves a corrupt man. Nobody loves a corrupt person. Nobody loves a corrupt person. Nothing is certain in the world. Nothing is certain in the world. None can do it, or nobody can do it. Now, dears, these sentences have been started with no and a noun. No and a noun. So the sentence is in negative form. The sentences are in negative form. Dears, how can you transform it into interrogative? I have told you, if the sentence is in affirmative form, then whenever you are asked to transform it into interrogative, at the same time you should make it a negative also. But now you are noticing that these sentences are in the negative form. So what will you do? You should transform it into interrogative. At the same time, you should make it an affirmative sentence. You should use the affirmative form of that sentence. Now, what will you do? I have used no plus noun as subject. It is the subject. No plus noun. No one, that means none, that means no plus one. The short form of no one is none. No plus noun, then finite verb and object. It is the structure of these sentences. Now, first you should identify what is mentioning with the subject, any person, anything, etc. and etc. And you should use the WH word or interrogative pronouns that indicates the subject. You know, this is the person, nobody. It is a person. You should use who. Who. You need not to change the other part, other words of the sentence. You should write loves a corrupt person. Who loves a corrupt person? Corrupted, you can use also corrupted. It is the adjective form. Corrupt is also an adjective form. Who loves a corrupt person? Who? Look, I have erased the subject and I have used who because it is the person. Who, I have not changed the other words of the sentence, the rest of the sentence. Nothing, it is not a person. The subject indicates a thing. So you can use what, which. What? What? You can also use which here. You need not to change the other words. You need not to change the rest of the sentence. What is certain in the world? What is certain in the world? Okay? None can do it. Is the person. Who can do it? What have you done? But you should erase the subject and you should use interrogative pronoun. Interrogative pronoun. And all of you know what are the interrogative pronouns. What, who, which, when, where, how. These all are the interrogative pronouns. Whenever I make an interrogative sentence with the words, but these are also used for connecting a sentence, then it will be called relative pronoun. Relative pronoun, then finite verb and object. And I think you are clearly noticed that you are clear about the sentences. Okay, dears, now I am going to give you another instruction about affirmative to negative interrogative. Now, look at the board, please. I have no pen. I have no pen. He has nothing to say. He has nothing to say. The man has nothing to do. You should never tell a lie. Now, dear students, you can notice that I have used the sentences in negative form. How? I have used here no, nothing, nothing, and never. If you find any assertive sentence where the question set are used, no joke noun, it is not the subject. In the middle or at the last part of the sentence, the question setter may use no joke noun or nothing or never. I have used no pen, nothing, never. If you find these words in an assertive sentence, then you should consider that these sentences are in negative form. So, whenever you are asked to change or transform it into interrogative, you should not use the negative form of these words. What will you do? If you find no plus noun, nothing or never in a sentence, not at the first part, these are not used as subject, then you should use the auxiliary verb first. Has, then subject. You should erase no. You should erase no. At the place of no, you should use any. You should use any. Have I any? Then the noun. Have I any pen? What have you done? You have erased. I have erased no. No. Never, that means no ever. No ever. By erasing no, I have used any. He has nothing. Whenever you find nothing, you should use anything. You should use anything. Sorry. You should bring the auxiliary verb. Has he anything? Then the next verse, anything to say? Has he anything to say? The man has nothing to do. Has the man nothing, anything to do? Has the man anything to do? Now, dears, whenever you find no plus noun or nothing, you have erased no, and at the place of no, you have used any. But whenever you find any sentence where the examiner have used never, then you should erase never. You should write ever at the place of never, because never is the negative form, ever is the affirmative form. What will you do? You should bring should, then subject should you. The opposite form of never is ever. Should you ever tell a lie? Then what have I done? You can clearly notice that I have erased all no from the given sentences, and I have used any at the place of no. But whenever you find any sentence where the question setter use never, you should write the opposite word of never, ever. Another opposite word of never is always, but ever. No joke ever, that means never, you should erase the no, and you will use never, ever. Okay? Now, dear students, I will give you the information of transforming an assertive sentence to interrogative sentence in the next class. Till then, I pray to Almighty Allah that you are all safe at home. Be sound with a sound mind. Okay, thank you very much.